Adam Pacitti from Cultaholic.com, and this is our Money in the Bank 2019 predictions. It's not really Adam, it's Ross.
Whoa.
Yeah, Adam's on holiday at the moment, so it's just us three. It's Ross, it's Sam, and it's Jack, the Cultaholic Heavyweight Champion, doing the predictions competition for Money in the Bank 2019. What's on the line? Not a punishment, because next week we're going to Las Vegas. There's an event happening in Las Vegas next week called Double or Nothing. So guess what we're doing, boys and girls? Double or Nothing.
Punishment.
Yeah. Big boys. But of course, because it's Money in the Bank, we have to have something on the line, and that thing is the Culty in the Bank. But what's inside, boys and girls? We don't know. So what does that mean?
It's pretty sinister.
Don't know. Adam knows, I think.
Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Last year it was a good thing. It was tickets to Japan.
Well, I wouldn't mind going to Japan.
Bloody hell.
So we'll find out sometime. Let's do the predictions, shall we? So we kick things off with the first of two pre-show matches. We have the Usos against the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, the eco-friendly Warriors. Championships are not on the line. It's a non-title match. Sam, who are you taking and why?
Because championships aren't on the line, usually I'd go with the opposing team. But this time, I think I'm going to go for the champions. I'm going to go for Daniel Bryan and Rowan, the Eco Warriors. I think that it's a little bit of a swerve. Plus, it makes them look strong as champions if they can beat a team as good as the Usos. So, yeah.
I'm going to go for probably the champions as well. Daniel Bryan and Eric and just Rowan. I think that they wouldn't have them lose because the wildcard rules made everything so confusing. But basically, the Usos are supposedly on Raw. These lads are supposedly on SmackDown with the SmackDown tag team titles, and I just don't think they make them look weak by losing, even if the belts aren't on the line. Also, it's not been that long since Daniel Bryan was the biggest heel in the company, and I just don't think they're going to have him lose. Ross?
Well, as a famous man once said, the Usos are the greatest tag team in the history of tag team wrestling or something, so I'm going to go with the Usos. I like Daniel Bryan. He's very good. He's what he said, one of the top heels, but also the Usos have been on every single show, I think, since the wildcard rule came in. They've been pimped about like the proverbial, you know what I'm going there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just because of that, that's why I'm going to go with the Usos.
Okay. Well, because they're prominent.
Yeah.
Aye.
They're the faces of the SmackDown wildcard thing.
Place.
It's a mess, isn't it?
Can we keep that in?
Yeah. So next up we have the match for the Cruiserweight Championship, and it pits Tony Nese against Arya Daivari. Jack, who have you got and why?
Tony, I think it's going to be Tony time yet again. I've learned the error of my ways. We mocked you, Sam, we did, at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you did.
Tony.
For picking Tony, and you were the only one who got that match right. So I'm gonna stay on the Tony train, and it's gonna pull me into the station, and that station's called Victory. Ross, what about you?
Well, I'm getting off the Tony train.
Whoa! You're never on the Tony train.
I'm on the Tamina train. No, that's a different issue, though.
Yeah.
I'm getting into the Aria automobile. Beep, beep.
Oh my God.
Aria is good. Aria Daivari
Oh my
will
God.
win because I just don't like Tony Nese. He just doesn't work for me. I do not connect with the guy. I don't think many people do connect with the guy. So Aria and the shirts and the sunbeds and the cockiness, he's going to nick one and he's going to take the Cruiserweight title, and Tony will cry on the train on his own, and he might miss his stop.
Beep, 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 beep.
Sam?
I am also jumping off the Tony train. I love Tony Nese to pieces, but I think he's better chasing. He's much better chasing than he is as a champion. And I think 205 Live's had an aggressive heel in the way of Buddy Murphy. It's time for a bit of a charismatic heel in the way of Arya Daivari, a guy that's not going to defend his belt, a guy that's going to cheat to win every single match, a guy that the fans are going to become more and more frustrated with until maybe it's Tony time again.
Well, resurrecting the spirit of Enzo Amore on 205 Live.
In a way.
Oof.
On to the main show now, and the steel cage match between The Miz and everyone's favourite, the best in the world, Shane McMahon. Ross, need I ask, who have you gone for and why?
I'm going for the best in the world, Shane McMahon.
How are you?
My reasoning being, he's got hired goons these days. Now I reckon one of those hired goons will get involved, and it's not George. I'm not talking about George. He's a noble potato. Bobby Lashley will somehow get involved and help Shane to win. I think this is going to stretch the sum of this, you know. I was shocked we got a rematch after the conclusive finish at WrestleMania. So I think this is just building another stepping stone to a big SummerSlam blow-off.
Right.
So Shane will win. Sam?
I am going for Shane McMahon. I think that we are going to have a situation in which either George accidentally costs The Miz, or Shane's hired goons are going to get hold of George on the outside, and Miz is going to be forced to sort of allow Shane to escape.
Oh.
Otherwise, they're going to do the dirty on his daddy.
Drama. Choppy pee-pee.
Jack.
I'm going to go for The Miz, because I think you can't have Miz lose twice in a row to Shane McMahon. I know he's the best in the world and everything, but he's not, is he? So I don't think that we can have...
He's got a trophy with his name on.
Ah, he does. I don't think
It
we can
even
have them...
says best in the world.
He won one match and it was a sham. I don't think that you can have The Miz lose twice in a row to Shane, and I'd like to think that George comes out the winner for once. I hope that Vince gives him a little
He came out the winner at WrestleMania. He stole
balls.
everybody's hearts. Vince McMahon's favourite moment on the grandest stage.
Well, I hope Vince rewards that by giving George a little bit of shine in this match. I hope he hits,
An RKO.
shoulder charge, shoulder
Swanton.
block, leapfrog, drop down, and then something class, a Hurricane Rana or something. Off the cage.
Anything else?
No, I'm really worried about this one. Miz.
Next up we have a match where there's not really anything on the line. Roman Reigns versus Elias. Pring. Sam, you taking it why?
Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is winning the match, isn't he? Like, he's not going to lose. Not against Elias.
Roman Reigns as well, he's not going to lose, not against Elias.
I think Roman wins. Not against Elias. Roman will win. I don't know what else to say. There's been no build really, has there? One man attacks another man. The goons get involved.
It sounds like we're being harsh about Elias. Elias is great. It's just it's Roman Reigns. Like,
It's been a bit of a crappy feud.
He doesn't lose matches.
Yeah. Wait, he doesn't.
He doesn't lose matches.
Not
though.
to
real
Elias,
matches.
Not to someone on Elias' position on the card. It's going to be Roman Reigns.
Next up, we got the match for the United States Championship, and it pits Samoa Joe against Rey Mysterio. Jack, who have you got and why?
Samoa Joe to retain by one of two means. Well, not to win by one of two means. Either a clean win, a pinfall or a submission. One of three ways: a pinfall, a submission, or maybe a DQ, causing Rey to snap on him and get himself disqualified. Potentially something involving his little son Dominic. Not his little son, his big son Dominic. His beefy son. I think that Joe might get the clean win, or he might threaten, maybe shove Dominic, maybe do something like that, and then that'll cause Rey to lose his temper in an AJ Styles fashion when he said Daddy's coming home tonight, and changed our lives for the better when he said it. And I think that Joe's going to come away with the win by hook or by crook. Ross?
I think Ronald Mysterious will win. Dominic will get involved, and that's how Ronald Mysterious will win.
Ooh.
I've read something online that says Rey Mysterio, well, where we're going at the minute is his mask is going to be passed down to Dominic, who'll become Prince Mysterious. So I think that's where we're going. So I don't know what else to say really about that. Despite the rumour and innuendo that Dominic is in fact...
You can't just steal other people's lines.
I can't. That's all I do here. Despite all that saying that, Cesaro going, he's not actually his son and all the Eddie Guerrero stuff and all that, I think that Dominic's going to stay with his father and all that malarkey. So yeah, that's what we're going with.
Go for Rey. It's not a DQ, is it? If Joe goes and beats the crap out of Dominic and Dominic doesn't lay a finger on him. So I think that's what he's going to do, and it's going to lead to Rey managing to Hulk up and beat him and win the belt, and he's going to have a moment with his son.
It's not. Yeah, you're right. It's nowhere in the rules of wrestling that you're not allowed to batter the son of
Yeah,
your
you
opponent.
can't just walk into. You can walk into the crowd and punch a fan. It's not, as long as they don't hit you back, it's not a DQ. They're not interfering with your match. You're interfering with their evening.
I'm going to be sat there screaming, "Hit him, Dominic! Hit him back!"
It's not a League One playoff game, is it?
No.
Sunderland and Portsmouth fans, sorry America and the rest of the world for alienate you completely.
Just the Portsmouth fans. Next up, the WWE Championship match pitting Kofi Kingston against Kevin Owens. It was meant to be Daniel Bryan. He got injured. Kev's the replacement. Who have you got on why, Ross?
That's the reason I'm going for Kofi Kingston.
Right.
Kevin Owens was not supposed to be in this match, so why would he be winning?
Okay.
That's all I've got to say. What more needs to be said?
Kofi's just got the belt. Kofi ain't dropping the belt this soon. That's my mentality going into this one.
Yeah, I was worried that Kofi was going to drop the belt the first time of asking, but now that we're only a day or two away, I can't see it happening. I think he's going to keep the belt, and he might hold it until SummerSlam. He might not, but I don't think this is the time for him to drop it, especially as Ross says, because Kevin Owens was a late replacement.
Concise wrestling analysis.
Aye, that's what you want.
And next up for the Raw Women's Championship, we have D-Man, Becky Lynch against Lacey Evans, Sam Driver. Who are you taking and why?
I want something to happen that means that Lacey's match goes on after Charlotte's, and I want Lacey to beat Becky, and I want it to just capitalise on her being knackered, and I'm banking on that happening, because could you imagine the heat? Could you imagine the heat? So I'm going to go a real wild one, but I'm going to go for Lacey Evans. Jack?
I was tempted to agree with you and do this, but what I've done is taken inspiration from my win at WrestleMania, where I played safe and
Playing
went for
it safe, that's not what the viewers want.
Went for all three big baby faces, and somehow all three of them won.
Do you take Bret Hart in this one, then?
Aye, Rollins, Becky, and the other one as well. Who was it? Kofi. We just talked about him. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I'm going to play it safe, so I'm going to go for Becky, even though I'm worried about shenanigans. Ross?
I am going for Becky Lynch. Just because, I don't know what it is, along the way I've seemed to have gathered that this match is going to happen first, then Charlotte's going to happen after, and a tired Becky Lynch, because Lacey's going to have a competitive match with her. She's getting built for bigger things, isn't she? A tired Becky Lynch is going to lose to Charlotte Flair. Charlotte will stay on SmackDown, Becky will go on Raw. That's how this feud will end until WrestleMania next year, maybe. But Becky will win this one.
And following on from that, we have the match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which once again pits Becky Lynch, but this time against Charlotte Flair. Jack, who you got mine?
Becky Lynch again. Playing it safe. I think she might lose one, but I don't know which one, so I'm just going to play the percentages.
Right.
That's what I'm doing. Ross?
Charlotte Flair, for the reason I just said about 33 seconds ago.
All right.
Becky Lynch, just because, I was banking on her losing to Lacey, but keeping hold of one of them.
We should have done those two predictions in one, really.
Yeah, we should have, really, We're not very good at this, are we?
Never mind. Next up, the Universal Championship match. The man, the other one, Seth Rollins against his challenger, AJ Styles. Ross, who have you got on? Right.
Seth Rollins will win. I've got no idea why. I honestly couldn't tell it. I haven't seen Raw this week. I don't know what happened. What happened this week on Raw?
Neither of them did anything in the arena. They just did backstage promos.
Well, we've not learned much. With AJ slightly more heelish than Rollins is at the minute. Rollins is dating Becky Lynch now. That's a thing that's happened. So I'm going to go for Rollins because I flicked the coin.
All right. Sam?
It's my gut feeling once again that they're not going to drop the belt this quickly off him. So Rollins.
Yeah, I agree with you as well. I think that's going to be Seth Rollins because he had that monumental win at WrestleMania, beating Brock Lesnar. And I think when someone gets a win that big, they shouldn't lose so soon afterwards.
Don't kill the momentum.
Same logic as with Kofi.
Then again, if AJ wins and becomes a proper heel, whew,
that'll be class as
get
well.
the club back involved.
I also don't think this is going to be the only match between the two. I think that it might have an inconclusive finish, but either way, I think Rollins is going to get the win. Similar to my Samoa Joe pick, maybe by DQ.
Should be like the Bret and Shawn feud of the whatever decade this is called. What, the tens?
The tens? The 10 teens?
The teens?
The teens?
Yeah, just
teens.
Bret and Shawn, do it just over many years. Till one of them dies. Next up we have the women's ladder match for the Money in the Bank briefcase. They are all on the screen now because my memory does not work properly. Who are you taking, Sam, and why?
I am going really wild on this one.
Whoa.
So, I think it's always good when you've got a shocking Money in the Bank briefcase holder. I was originally going to go with Alexa Bliss, but then I realised, obviously while Alexa was still in the match, and then I realised they've already done back-to-back with Carmella. So they're not going to do... Yeah, but they're not going to do back-to-back. Well, no, because Carmella technically is back-to-back-to-back.
You know, one match, they got it right first time.
But they're not going to do it back-to-back with, like, Alexa. So, and then Alexa's out the match. And then I was thinking, who else could it be? And it would be nice to have somebody like Ember or... I don't know, I just think, for some reason, my gut's telling me that it's time for Natalya.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a bold
Natalya.
pick.
The thing is, like, she is really good in the ring. She trains most of that female roster, and that's all out there on, like, the reality TV stuff they do.
And she's the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
Yeah, and she's Jim Neidhart's daughter. And Grumpy Cat died.
Yeah.
So there you go.
God, they're going to keep the spirit of Grumpy Cat alive.
I think if you were able to, like, spin the fact that she's actually trained probably half of that roster, and you just turn her mega heel. Because I like heel Natty.
I think as well what you've done there is made me shake. You've shaken my confidence in my own pick. Because it's not always the exciting new one who wins.
Yeah.
We've seen Randy Orton win Money in the Bank before.
Because they get all the
Baron
exciting
bloody
moments.
Corbin
But if Natty gets up there and like throws somebody else off to do it and turns heel, it'd be great.
I'm going to go for Ember. This is more of a heart over head situation because I think there's 3 key players in this match. And I think they're all on the SmackDown side. Bayley, Mandy and Ember. And out of those 3, I most want to see Ember win. And I think that it would be cool if she did. And I think she needs a bit of a push and deserves one. Ross?
I think this will be Ember's coming out party, if you will, because she hasn't really been seen too much over the past little while. No, she's been injured, but then when she came back, not really used all that often, frequently, you know what I mean? But I think Bayley will win because on SmackDown, she has been losing high-profile matches, so I think they're knocking her down to build her back up again. What's that song called?
I'll get knocked down.
I'll get up again.
Tub thumping.
Yeah.
Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba, that's what I was looking for.
Chumbawamba.
Chumbawamba. Yes, Bayley.
And finally, we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Look at them all on the screen there. You can see them all sexy and muscly. Jack, who have you got and why?
One of Ross's favourite impressions to do in the world, not Vince McMahon, he's not in this match, but Big Bad Drew
McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre. I think he's going to win. I think finally the prophecy's going to... You're right.
Soul destroying, isn't it?
I think finally the prophecy's going to come true. He's going to be the chosen one once again, just a bit later than we all thought. And he's going to go on a bit of a heel tear with the briefcase. I think he'll be an excellent briefcase holder. Maybe I'd like to see him not cash in sneakily if he does win. Maybe I want to be a bit more ballsy about it. But either way, I think Drew's the best chance to win. And I think he's the right call to win, possibly as well. Although there's a few good candidates. Ross?
I'm going to go for one of the good candidates, you know, Jack. I'm going to go for Sami Zayn. So I think Sami Zayn's been on fire. Flames everywhere. He's burning. Not because he's ginger. Since he came back from his injury, he's been fantastic in the truther role. And I also think that Braun Strowman will get involved. And somehow Braun getting involved, thinking he's going to kill Sami, will end up with Sami winning because the heat and the shock and everything about it will be fantastic. Maybe Braun throws Sami and Sami just plucks out the air as he's flying through the air like a gazelle. Sam?
Pretty much exactly what you said to a degree. I think Braun's going to come down, he's going to do something that he thinks is going to cost Sami, but it's going to ultimately end up with Sami actually getting the briefcase.
Fair. So that is it. Those are our predictions for Money in the Bank 2019. Come back to this channel on Monday. We'll have What Happened At. We'll have Graded. We'll have WTF Moments. The reactions will be on Tuesday, probably. I don't make the schedule, Sam.
When they're done, yeah. Probably
when they're
usually
done.
Tuesday, yeah.
So come back and watch all those things. They'll be good, honest, they will.
Thanks for watching.
It's been a mess, this.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. And if you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can play us to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe and join us.